What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
Love you, baby. Today's video, we are doing an unfiltered marriage Q&A. We say unfiltered because we're probably going to go to some places in this video that other channels, a number of other channels, just wouldn't want to go. We're going to go there. And to kick things off right now, we're just going to be real with you. The last hour for Morgan and I has not been amazing. It's been one of those hours where it just feels like we're overwhelmed. We're kind of maybe with the baby.
Frustrations of the world get taken out on one another rather than the world.
Yeah, communication, just all of that stuff has just kind of bubbled up. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, maybe we should just wait and not film today. And then it's like, what are we literally about to talk about? An unfiltered marriage Q&A. Let's bring this to the table and bring some realness to the YouTube space.
Yep. Obviously, if it were something major, we would, communicate, get on the same page, and then go live maybe the next day or whatever, but it's not that big of a deal.
It's all the smaller things.
I'm just tired, okay? I'm a tired mother.
And there is so much grace for that. And we're going to get this thing figured out, baby.
I've had coffee today, too, and it just didn't even remotely touch me.
Well, that's
right.
okay, baby.
Whatever.
That's okay.
If you guys are new here, make sure you subscribe.
There's grace. There's grace.
We risk giving TMI.
To help you navigate DMI, dating, marriage, and intimacy. That's a great slogan for today's video. Also, this green shirt is, I'll be honest, I'm looking, it puts the plants behind us to shame. The green in my Celtics shirt that I decided to wear today because Morgan, for Christmas, is taking me as my Christmas present.
Right.
We're months after Christmas, taking me to a Celtics game in a week's time, so I'm wearing this to celebrate.
Yep.
All right, Morgan, let's do this real quick. We have had a very rainy, kind of thundery day out.
That's also part of the issue here.
Yeah, so that's adds something else because we did a live not too long ago and our power literally went out while we were live. Hopefully that will not happen today. Just roll with it if it does. But our power's not gone out all day, so we should be fine. All right, Morgan, anything else?
Patrons, we love you guys so much. You're amazing. You're incredible. If you want to become a patron and hang out with us, we do Zoom calls monthly. We have a Discord.
Weekly encouragement videos.
Yes, there's a great just patron community. You guys are seriously the bomb. So if you're looking for a sweet community, come join us. Patreon.com/Paulandmorganshow.
And you still have a couple weeks to get in on the Patron Florida retreat, but it's almost, the time draws.
Well, you just have till February 27th to sign up.
All right.
For the 26th.
Very good. We would love to see you guys in person there. Let's do this. Morgan, we got a lot of these marriage questions, a lot of really good ones. So we are going to do a part 2. Look for a part 2 next week because there's just too many to get to in today's video. Without further ado, the question number 1 is, and these questions range.
Yes, they do.
Into a lot of different areas of marriage. But the first one is, do you sometimes get bored of each other and want to be alone? I think we can both answer this question relatively quickly.
3, 2, 1.
No.
Yes.
You get bored of me?
Yes. Okay, bored is I don't know. It's not bored. It's just we are with each other a lot. So we need some space from each other because distance makes the heart grow fonder.
That's true. I would say that any marriage where the couple is spending good amounts of time together, they're going to need time apart because you just get so familiar.
Yeah. The fact that we work together, live together.
You need time. And someone even asked that question of how does it look for you guys is it healthy to spend time apart? Absolutely. And I encourage Morgan, go get out with your ladies and have a great time, and then we'll reconnect and it'll be great. She encourages me to get with my guy friends. Highly recommend it. Next question is, okay, this question is interesting, Morgan, and right when I read it, I was kind of like, oh boy.
Okay. What is it?
But this is what are we calling it? Unfiltered marriage Q&A. Someone on Instagram wrote in and said, how does your husband really feel about your postpartum body?
Wah, wah, wah.
You want to give any initial thoughts before I
Well, I feel like we've kind of talked about this. I can't remember. But, I mean, I don't really have thoughts. I'm literally just to let y'all know whatever his answer is, which I kind of know what it is, or maybe I totally know, or maybe I don't know at all. I'm not offended by anything he says, so don't freak out.
Wow, babe. That gives me a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
In my answer.
Go ahead.
I feel like there is answers that I could say that you would be like, wait a minute. No, here it is.
But I know you're not going to say that anything weird.
Okay, I just know, like, the haters are going to hang on every word that I'm about to say.
Yes, they are.
So, Heavenly Father, please give me wisdom. Seriously. But I think there is a genuine curiosity. How do husbands react when a woman has had a baby?
Obviously, every husband's different.
Every husband's different. The road after
every woman's different.
Post delivery. But speaking for myself, Morgan, it's just been so cool to see her. Like, okay, I'm able to start moving again. I'm able to start exercising again. Like, that's fun for me to see. It's fun for me to see her just embrace a healthy lifestyle and be on that journey. And she obviously looks great. And so that's a blessing. And I'm going to say this. This is just complete realness here, okay? There is now a C-section scar.
I shared it on my Instagram yesterday if you want to see a picture of it.
I was a little surprised you shared that on your Instagram.
I know.
But you shared a very small sliver of it.
Yeah. It's not like I showed it all.
But I would be lying to everyone if I said I don't even notice that scar. It is a real scar that I wasn't used to seeing before having Luca. Mm-hmm. It is so amazing that literally our son got pulled out of Morgan's stomach.
That's insane.
Like, it is incredible.
Yeah.
And so that scar is so beautiful, but it's still something that I'm not used to seeing. So when, we're maybe about to be intimate, I'm like, yeah, I notice it. Mm-hmm. I would be lying to say I didn't. And I'm still getting used to it.
But it's not like you're like, oh.
No, it is not. It is not, but it's something that I notice.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like I noticed the scar on your back from your surgery.
There you go.
But
there you go.
Whatever.
Our scars remind us. What? The past is real. All right, next question. Okay, this one's super interesting.
Okay.
Having celebrity crushes or a work husband / work wife. I think it is at least unwise. So pretty much maybe...
That's what they said?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're at work a lot and you've just really taken to having a relationship. I mean, that just immediately is big red flags.
Yeah.
Is there any type of kind of way around that of like justifying?
I had a work husband, but he was gay, so... Just kidding. No, but there was a gay guy that I worked with at a store once, and when we were married, and we were friends, but he wasn't my work husband.
Yeah, there's a difference between friends that you work with or to the opposite sex.
Yeah, it's weird. No, okay? You shouldn't have a work wife or work husband. Why is your closest confidant at work of the opposite sex? Like, you could be friends, but y'all don't need to be eating lunch together every day and
that should go without saying.
Confiding in him.
That you should be putting up very healthy protection parameters around those relationships with the opposite sex.
And as far as celebrity crushes go, like, it's one thing to be able to recognize that someone is an attractive person. It's another thing to be like, oh, I'm obsessed with him. I watch every single one of his movies. I listen to every single interview he does. He is my absolute. I love him so much. I have dreams about him. Yeah, that's a little weird.
Oh, super weird. Super weird. But yeah. Morgan and I are able, I think, to, in every relationship's different. We're very close with another married couple that we were talking about this, and they didn't feel as open to maybe talking about.
We were hanging out with them, and Paul said something. or I said something. I was like, "Oh, our UPS driver." I said, "Oh, that looks like our UPS driver that we like walked past this guy." And I was like, no, he's not as attractive. And Paul was like, oh, really? The other guy? And then our friends are like,
okay, slow down
Whoa.
a little bit. Slow down. You're kind of, I feel like you just talked a mile a minute. You get going. And it's like, I'm trying to understand. I get what you're saying, but I think it almost comes across as like a one-worded run-on. Let me interpret. Morgan made a comment about a certain UPS driver that looked like another one that we know, but wasn't as attractive. And the couple we were with were kind of just like, you would talk about someone being attractive. Morgan and I are pretty chill about that, but we respect if another couple is like, no, we do not say anything like that. Comment below, what are your thoughts there? But nevertheless, celebrity crushes, just don't go too far with that.
The coffee has gotten to me, I think.
That's what it is. And I will give you a little bit of pass there.
Here, our friend says I'm dying. Cassie says, I got it, Morgan.
Okay. The true P&M fans heard what you just said, but the newcomers heard just a bunch of gibberish.
Oh, man.
All right.
Hilarious.
But no, if Morgan was constantly like, oh my goodness, my celebrity crush is on this new movie and I can't wait to see him.
Mm-hmm. Or if Paul, every woman we walk past was like, oh, she's hot. She's great looking. She's beautiful. I'd be like, what is your issue?
Next question. All right. We got our first sex question of the live stream.
Okay.
Morgan, we've been getting a little bit of heat because we have been talking about sex with openness and with more frequency.
Get used to it, you guys. It ain't going anywhere. I'm just going to say that. I think it's so beneficial and so desperately needed.
Dude, like in the Christian community, and obviously, like, Lord, give us wisdom in broaching these topics. But we are convinced this has got to be talked about. These conversations need to be encouraged because sex within Christian marriage is such a big thing. Mm-hmm. And why?
No, it's not the biggest thing and doesn't make the entire marriage, but it's so big. And
man, it can improve marriages, and so many marriages could be a lot stronger. I say that with confidence if their sex lives were better. So we're going there. Today's this one is, where do you guys draw the line though with spicing up your sex life? And real quick, we made a YouTube short that we posted yesterday that in particular is getting some heat, especially on Instagram. I feel like it's actually kind of popping on TikTok. But ultimately, we were defending, Morgan, I'll let you go into it, but I'll just say, go watch our YouTube shorts. If you guys are like, man, this is a topic I really want to learn more about. I feel like it's beneficial, maybe for my marriage. We've been posting a good amount of YouTube shorts, sex related. But tell them what you kind of just along these lines of how do you draw the line with spicing up your sex life, not going too far with the spiciness.
But I'm not telling them about our short.
Can you just give them?
That's how you made it sound.
Well, I was gonna say, can you give them just like a brief what you made the short on, or do you feel like that's not applicable?
Just go watch my Instagram live.
Go watch Morgan's Instagram live she did with Girl Defines
Sexy Time Chats
with Bethany Beal, or you can just watch our YouTube short. But anyway, Morgan, how do we draw that line?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind immediately is if one of us is uncomfortable / feels convicted to not do something, that's where we draw the line. It's one thing if, like, we're uncomfortable, but, like, okay, I'm a little uncomfortable with this, but I'm still going to try it because I know that they would appreciate it. And even though I'm uncomfortable with it, I'm not, like, opposed to it.
You're not, like, convicted in your spirit.
Right.
It's
I
more
just
of
feel, like, awkward or not confident enough or
Yeah.
whatever. So it's more like, if one of us feels convicted / genuinely just like, I can't do this, like, then that's kind of the end of that.
Well, and I'm just going to say, like, the YouTube short we made yesterday had to do with this Christian woman on a podcast was saying she and a group of her girlfriends that talk about sex and intimacy within marriage, they went and took a pole dancing class so that they could dance for their husbands.
A private lesson, just them.
And it's caused quite the reaction. There are Christians that hear that and they're like, no, Paul and Morgan, that is off limits. That's not good. And we are kind of coming on the side of, why couldn't a wife dance suggestively for her husband?
Suggestively.
I'm just saying, like, erotically. We are for that. Like, we just are. But go watch the reel. Go watch Morgan and Bethany's. They go into it in greater detail. But we see the positives in that. But we know there are Christians that hear that and they just can't get behind it. I want to say this. We respect that. And kind of like what Morgan was just saying in response to this question of where do you guys draw the line, for you all, if the woman in her mind is like, I could not dance erotically in good conscience to my husband, don't do it. We're not over here forcing you and saying you are so lame if you don't do it. Don't do it. And maybe if your husband, if it's going to mess with him, don't do it. But for us, I completely bless you dancing erotically for me. It would be super sexy.
Yeah. Bethany said something really good in our Instagram live, and I don't remember exactly how she worded it, so go watch that. But she mentioned something of like, where do we get these convictions from? Because biblically, like, there really is very little when it comes to what we cannot do when it comes to like sex within marriage. And what we can do, like, there's a lot of freedom. And so with these convictions, we really need to take them to the Lord and like ask, like, God, why am I offended by this like piece of advice of dancing sexy for my husband? Or God, why am I offended for learning how to do this for my wife? Like, is it because it's in the Bible and it says I absolutely cannot do this, or is it because like my worldview has formed this? So all right, moving on.
Very good. Very good. But guys, again, I know that that's a question that we've just seen it, causes quite the reaction among Christians. We're all on this journey trying to figure it out. This is where Morgan and I have landed. Let's have some grace for each other. Let's have some mercy for each other. My next question, Morgan, from Instagram was, what married guys find attractive about their wives' bodies except for booty and boobies? All right, Morgan.
Like besides booty and boobies.
Yeah, like beyond that. We probably should get back to, because there are some people that when it comes to sex and stuff, they are kind of like, oh, maybe it's just not the time for me or whatnot. So let's try to say disclaimers again.
Okay. When
talking about sex and stuff. So I don't think this...
So disclaimer?
Well, I don't think this one needs a disclaimer, though.
All right, then.
What married guys find attractive about their wives beyond the classics?
Right.
Do you want to guess a couple of maybe what my answers would be?
Well, what if you say no? Then I'm going to be offended.
No, I mean, I'm sure whatever you say I'm still going to like, but it might not be like...
Might not be your top three.
Yeah.
All right, top three. My lips.
I thought you were going to say like all three.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll respond.
My nose. My lips.
You're playing it kind of safe.
I know. My belly button. I have no idea.
No, I mean, I think your nose is really cute.
Right.
But the way I read this question is what attracts them beyond the butt and boobs.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like genuinely, like, no, your nose I think is really cute, but I wouldn't necessarily put that.
Okay, then go ahead, list yours.
Got a police officer. No, I'm not going to get too explicit here, but when I read the Songs of Solomon, for instance...
Did you guys see how my drink went from here to over there? He always steals my drinks.
This was your drink?
Well, it wasn't yours!
All right, it's about to get a little bit Songs of Solomon up in here.
Oh, dear.
But not... Okay, if you've read the Songs of Solomon, you'll be able to handle what I'm about to say.
Okay.
I think lips, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Lips would be one. I would say legs.
Okay.
And back is really something really pretty about the back.
Okay.
And hair.
This is what men find attractive besides the booty and boobies.
Yeah, I think there's something very attractive and alluring about the back, the legs, and so forth. All right, Morgan, you want to read some questions? We're scrolling this way.
All right. Has making content ever caused problems within your marriage?
Okay, this one hits close to home. Was it causing problems today, Morgan?
Yes. No. Yes and no. It wasn't in the way that, like, I feel like people think. Like, it's hard when Paul is doing work and I'm being a mother with Luca and he's sitting on the couch and me and Luca are in the living room playing or like whatever, and then Paul's like keeps getting distracted. It's like, obviously you're gonna get distracted, go out and work somewhere else. But he doesn't. He just sits there and does his work on the couch. So that's one way that content has affected our marriage.
I don't think anyone was expecting that.
But another way, what does a way come to your mind?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a team sport, if you will. It's the Paul and Morgan show. And sometimes one of us, more often Morgan. Has there ever been a time when I haven't wanted to film? But no, it's like...
No, there hasn't.
When... I just love this, dude. I'm so thankful for this YouTube.
Same goes with sex. There's never been a time you haven't wanted to.
No, but I feel like there's sometimes when we're just in the middle of something and then we have to push go live and then we have to record a video and it's like...
And I'm like, no.
We're not really in the mood. And that was literally today. Like, today could have easily, and I think this is a good video so far, but today could have easily been like, nope, no video, and you just push through it. So I don't know, has it caused issues or problems within your marriage? I think maybe in that moment, it's kind of like there is some, we're still going to film, but then pushing through this, I think has made our marriage stronger.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, granted, sometimes I'm still annoyed, but no, I mean, at the beginning of YouTube, ooh, yeah.
Oh, man, there was some
that was rough.
Go watch if you guys haven't seen it.
It's so cringe.
What is it? Marriage expectations versus reality?
Oh.
Husbands and wife gets real?
Oh, yeah. Is that the one where we, like, get into a fight? Yeah.
That was as real as it gets. We got into a fight and we left it in the video and we stopped recording for a while. I honestly wouldn't want to go back and watch that because it would be awkward.
I did go back probably like 6 months ago. No, less than 6 months ago, and I was just like, oh, that was so cringe.
But we've had a lot of love on that video.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy, you guys. It's not easy just working, honestly, with your spouse full time. It's like, that's props to couples that can do it because it ain't easy. So
that's so true. I mean, it's just not easy.
On top of like making sure that you're not just business partners, you're husband and wife first, then your business partners. Husband and wife, parents, then business partners. And so it's just a lot to navigate.
It is. It's challenging, but
all in all, I'd say we do pretty stinking good.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. All right, Morgan, I just realized you have to say we can't just keep that one-sided, the what married guys find attractive beyond just like the normal things that everyone says. So you have to say it. What's the normal
thing?
Well, no, I'm saying beyond the normal things that...
Yeah, so what's the normal thing that women find attractive?
Well, all right, we're about to go there. Disclaimer if you need it, if this is getting too steamy.
It ain't the penis. I'm going to just say that.
Okay, we're cutting you off of the coffee before videos.
Sorry, but it is what it is. Or it isn't what it is.
Okay, we're about to go there. Is that particular appendage?
Listen, I'm just gonna tell you guys, I have to. Okay, I have to get more confident. We all need to be more confident and okay with just saying the physical body parts that we have as grown men and women. It's a penis, it's a vagina. These are things that we need to be okay with saying. They're beautiful things created by God.
But you just said that you weren't attracted.
Well, I didn't say that.
What'd
but
you
I
say?
just said that's not like the most common thing that women are like, oh.
No, I actually have heard that.
That is the most
No,
common?
that it's oftentimes, yeah. But didn't you say, Morgan? And again, we're probably giving TMI. We risk giving. Is our slogan just, did we come up with it out of the blue and it's not relevant? No, it is relevant. Our slogan that we say now before every video.
We warn you guys.
We warn you every single video. We warn you every single video. We risk giving TMI to help you navigate this. Morgan, didn't you say to me the other day, though, that you were like, how did you say? It's kind of a goal to appreciate.
Yes. That women, specifically Christian women, I think struggle with I'll just keep it PG for you guys, our private parts, because I think, whatever it is, there's a million reasons, I'm sure, that make us just feel like our privates are filthy, are wrong, or dirty. And same with like men's private parts, like they're filthy, dirty, wrong.
Keep talking. I just got to see what some people are saying in the live chat right now.
It's like, actually, no, they're not. Like, why do I think that my nose is cute, but I don't think my vagina is cute?
Can someone just put that on a shirt, please, and never wear it? But just someone needs to put it on a shirt at least. Why do I think my nose is cute, but my vagina's not cute? People are doing a lot of crying, laughing faces. I guess that's a good sign. Tiffany's.
I'm just trying to make sure that we're not going too far right now.
Anthony says, LOL.
But no, everything that the Lord created in us is beautiful, ladies, and men too. And we have to start seeing it like that to help our sex lives within marriage, to help us be more confident women, help us be more confident men. Honestly, I don't think men have issues. Actually, no, that's not true. There are men that have issues, for sure.
Yeah.
That aren't confident enough in their bodies. But yeah, like, so.
With discretion. You don't need to just go insane and just talk about your husband or wife's body in great detail with everyone that you pass. What?
We weren't saying that.
No, I'm just saying, like, there's still a beautiful discretion, but there's also a beautiful openness.
Yes.
And I say it again, like, how could you be completely opposed to this, but then be okay with the Songs of Solomon? I don't see how you could.
Right. Yeah.
Personally, I don't see how it, unless you just avoid that part of the Bible that the fathers of old of the Christian faith decided to canonize. Like, I don't know. But anyway, so Morgan, just give us a few real quick.
Well, I specifically
Ladies, let us know if you agree with Morgan.
looked at the jawline. Y'all know I had to find a man that had a good jawline. Also hands. I don't know. I just wanted fingers that were longer than mine because I have really long fingers.
Even though I don't have big hands.
Well, they're bigger than mine. That's what mattered. I did not want a tiny hand man.
Okay, go ahead.
And
There's got to be more than that.
eyebrows. As
Wow.
long as they stay plucked.
Yours are very tame.
Oh.
So nothing to do with like
And,
abs or arms.
Abs.
Well,
are
that's what we're asking.
Oh, okay. Strong arms, abs. Okay. This is a very physical question.
Very physical.
This wasn't about, the deeper, more meaningful things. So,
All right.
yes.
Very good. Next question. How to ask for help without being a nagging wife, LOL. I be repeating myself like crazy. Morgan, that's a interesting one. How to ask for help without being a nagging wife.
I know, like...
You can relate to that.
Oh, definitely. Wait, are you saying that I'm a nagging wife?
I'm saying that you can... I've heard you express, like, I don't want to be a nagging wife.
Yes.
And I do not consider you a nagging wife in the slightest.
Thank you.
So what would your response to that be?
Yeah, it is hard because, like, I still personally, I have to figure that out because I'm the type of person that I won't ask for help, especially if I know, like, I can do this. Yes, it would be a giant inconvenience or really, like, overwhelming me, but I know that I can do it. I won't ask for help, which means I basically never ask for help, and then I become super.
And it forces me to sometimes be like, okay, Morgan is like doing a lot over here.
Yeah.
How can I help you, Morgan?
Yeah. And so.
But what about someone like this who says, I keep repeating myself?
I would say either sit down with your husband and say, hey, can we have like a heart-to-heart conversation and say, like, I don't want to be a nagging wife. I don't want to be someone who is constantly asking for things, constantly asking help. That is not my desire. That is not my heart. But I can't do everything by myself. And so I need you to, one, become more aware of when I do ask for something, like, please just do it. Like, don't make me ask you 15 times. And then also, like, be more attentive to me and ask, like, don't even ask, like, just do something if you know that it needs to be done. Wash the baby bottles without asking me if you want me to wash the baby bottles. Just wash them or whatever it is. Like, take out the trash when you see that it's full, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Have a heart-to-heart.
And go to counseling if you need to. We really genuinely do recommend finding a trusted Christian counselor to work through some of this with, because sometimes these issues aren't going to get fixed quickly between just the two of you. So bringing a third party in, a counselor, therapist, or even just like a close family friend that you feel like can approach it with a non-biasness.
Yeah.
Morgan, all right. I think we there's 2 questions left. We'll save this. We have 1 sex question. We'll save that for last. Okay. So I know we're going to do a part 2 because we have several more questions here, and these are only a small amount that we pulled out of actually the Instagram. So find out of these 3, which one do you want to do, and then we'll end with the sex question I mentioned. Either that one, or that one.
Let's do that one.
Go ahead.
All right. Have you ever had times of broken trust, and how did you build up trust again? This is good because I don't think there's been a time in Paul and I's marriage where it's like, oh my goodness, you lied to my face and like I am now struggling to trust you. Like, there's never been that, or like you did something behind my back and like I can't trust you. But
praise the Lord. I mean, seriously, like there's so much honesty there that is not in every marriage. There's little white lies oftentimes, and I genuinely feel like I can trust you.
Yes.
Big time.
Same.
And if that wasn't there, that would be crushing. If I didn't feel like I could totally trust you.
Yes, that would be terrible and not a healthy marriage. I think, and you really need to get people involved to help you work through that, in my opinion. I think, though, at the beginning of our marriage, there was a lot of growth that Paul and I had to go through, and learning how to communicate. And even if you don't necessarily like find out they've been lying to you or doing stuff, it's like you could get into a pretty like big argument and say hurtful things, or act a certain way, and it really like in a way hurts your like trust with this person of like, can I trust you with my heart? Can I trust you with like taking care of me by not saying hurtful things? Or like, can I trust you that you're gonna love me when I'm at my worst, or I'm whatever, like don't look my best, or this or that, whatever it might be. And we've had to work through some things like that. And so I think that it takes time, but you do just have to go ahead and decide that, one, you're married, and so trust is a huge thing. So make that a priority of like, I'm going to choose to trust my spouse. I chose to trust them when we said our vows to one another, and we're going to work through this together. And hopefully each of you are like, I'm going to be the person that my spouse can always trust, to take care of their hearts, to never lie to them, to whatever.
Let that be a challenge. If you have found yourself slipping into this, even again, just like the small white lies of, I'm going to fudge on this a little bit so that it comes across as better to my wife or to my husband, about, why I'm late. Oh, I was actually playing Nintendo with the guy friends, but instead I'm gonna make it not sound whatever. Like, really, just go for complete honesty. One of the 10 commandments, literally, not to lie. And then obviously we could talk more about if the trust the trust has been broken in significant marital unfaithfulness ways, and that's big stuff.
Yeah.
That you should take very seriously, but I don't think we need to like go into that right now.
Yeah.
There was the broken trust. I remember of when you were saying that a UPS driver was handsome. I'm kidding. All right, I'm kidding. Sex question. The
I
last
didn't say he was handsome, by the way.
last question of the stream. What did you say?
I just said that he was more attractive than that one UPS driver that I saw.
Very good. I personally am okay if I literally will be watching a movie and it'll be a guy that's like a good looking guy, and I'll ask Morgan like, hey, do you think that guy's attractive? I'm fine with that. But I could see how some relationships would not.
And 99% of the time I say no.
And I'm aghast. I'm aghast because to me it's like that guy is objectively a good looking guy, so it almost frustrates me when Morgan says no. But that's a whole nother thing. All right, the last question, Morgan, is a sex question. It is.
Yes.
So this is a good one.
Okay.
Disclaimer, though. Disclaimer.
Okay.
How do you suggest / bring up different sex positions or ideas, and how cautious should one be? I think that's a great question because I'll be honest, to kick things off, it's hard to do that because it's just kind of like, or at least it has been for us. This is just real. It has been for us in the past. I might be like, oh, this would be awesome to get to try and to kind of mix things up. And I'll just be real with this. You've been kind of, and I'm genuinely, this is not like a goofy thing. I'm praising the Lord that, like, you know what I'm about to say. But you've just taken so much more of like an intentionality when it comes to our sex life. And I'm so grateful. It's awesome.
I think I've stepped into like my like it's a partnership, and I think for a long time I allowed Paul to just be the one to like be into it. Not that I wasn't into it,
right?
But like he was much more excited about it than I was, and it's become very exciting for me to learn about it, to become more educated about how to better our sex life.
It felt a little bit like if we're like skipping along the sidewalk, I was ahead kind of pulling on you.
Yeah.
And now it feels more of like we're together.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. But there have been times where I would be like, man, I would really appreciate bringing up this new position. Let's try this new thing. But in the back of my mind, it wasn't like she was going to get mad at me.
Right.
But there was just that feeling of...
Well, fear of rejection was probably, like, played a part in it.
Yeah, that she really is just not going to be into it. And then that's going to kind of... What we could have had as a sexual time, just... a bang upstairs. It could have been this one thing. I was hoping it was going to be even more by initiating, let's try this new sex position. Mm-hmm. And now if she says, I'm not really into it, it's going to make what could have been even not as good as it could have been. So
it is scary, yes. So I would say one thing that I feel like we're learning and I've learned is that rather than like when you're like literally in the middle of making out or just on your bed about to like initiate things, being like, hey, here's a sex position, let's try it right now. Like, don't do that. I feel like that's bad.
I mean, you could, and your partner might be really adventurous, and so they'd be all about it, but I think a lot of the time,
a conversation when you're not even like thinking about sex, you're cooking dinner, whatever, like, or you're sitting at the dinner table, like, just be like, hey, like, here are 3 sex positions that I just think would be, like, if we picked one of them and tried it out this week, like, how would you feel about that? Or if you wanted to pick one out of these 3, like, which one would you want to pick, and could we try it next time we, are doing the thing?
And that's why I'm such a big advocate for just schedule bi-weekly meetings where you just touch base and say and Bethany Beal mentioned this in her little pamphlet thing. Mm-hmm. What's one thing that you really are liking about our sex? Mm-hmm. What's one thing that you'd like to see improved? Mm-hmm. And just open that line of communication so you almost come to expect these conversations, and it just makes these topics that could be awkward or weighty more approachable, more everyday life. Comment below, you guys. I know there are going to be people on here that are married and then people that are wanting to be married soon, and this conversation is just very beneficial. Morgan, I remember when we listened to the Arrows and Bow on her Instagram, and it was just them talking and doing a marriage Q&A, and it was so relatable and encouraging to us.
Yeah.
So we are expectant that it's going to be encouraging to you guys. Married people, comment below your answers to some of these questions just so we can keep this healthy, educating dialogue going. And then single people, let us know your thoughts on some of these. I'll be excited to respond to many of these comments. Give this video a thumbs up if this was meaningful and helpful conversation to you, even though we risked giving the DMI. Giving the
TMI.
We risked it. We risked it for the biscuit.
All right. Love you guys. If you're in the live chat, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned for part 2 next week.
Have hope.
And be. As you may have noticed, we get very few brand deals. A big reason for that is because we make unashamedly Christian content.
We've had brand deals taken away from us because people who don't like us reach out to them and demand that they cancel us.
Due to the fact that we stand on what the Bible says and we don't conform to culture.
Which is why our patrons, the names you see here, are so important.
You guys really are the lifeblood of this ministry. We could not do it without you all.
If you guys believe in this content and you want to partner with us on Patreon, go to patreon.com/paulandmorganshow or click the link in the description.
Go team. That was the one.